Hi everybody, I'm Connie Colla with the Connie Colla Group in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I am with the man of all coaching men and women when it comes to real estate.
Yes.
Tom Ferry's with us. I'm so excited. Nice to have you
Connie,
with us.
thank you for having me and congratulations on your show and all your success.
Thank you. What do you tell the buyers and the sellers out there who say we're in a bubble?
Well, first of all, the first question I always ask is, so what data are you looking at? Show me the data you're looking at, show me the metrics you're looking at, show me the numbers you're looking at, because we look at all the data. And what we know is if you go back 4 decades ago, actually, I guess technically it'd be 5 decades ago, we went for 40 straight years where we were building enough homes to meet the demand.
Yeah.
And then during the global economic crisis between, call it 2007 to 2010, home builders plummeted and stopped building houses.
Yeah.
Well, last time I checked, we still have people that are coming of age that want to buy a house, about 87 million millennials that want a home.
Right.
Right? We've got not enough people that are aging out, AKA people are living longer and longer and they're staying in their homes.
Yeah.
So you've got a bunch of different things that are happening. So you've got builders stop building, and now they're trying to catch up, but as you know, in this marketplace, they're nowhere near where they need to be, right? Then you've got 87 million millennials coming in the marketplace. You have not enough people that want to sell their home. What they want to do is they want to improve on their home. They want to make it a little bit bigger, right? As an example. And then you've got record low interest rates. Now, all you have to do is just look at the math and say, a good economist will be very careful and they'll say, I can't go out more than 18 months. You're going to be just fine for the next 18 months. The rest of us all say, we've got 5 to 7 years of this because it's just a supply and demand issue. Right?
Even for new builders, it's going to take that long, probably 5.5 to 6 years to catch up.
There's that, and then there's the other factor of the number of properties that have been acquired by hedge funds, right? And then mom and pop investors. It's about 22 million of the 138 million homes in the U.S. are currently owned by an investor like myself, and anybody north of 10 properties is considered an institutional investor, but we know that all these major funds have been buying properties, and we're also seeing the home buyers, or excuse me, the home builders, they're building product and then they're not selling it. They're renting it out because they see the value of that asset only appreciating over time.
So the bottom line is that, a bubble means it's going to pop. This isn't going to pop.
Well, so
it's
bubbles
not going to drop drastically.
If you actually Google the whole theory around bubbles, they don't actually pop. They start to compress, right?
Like a
So
balloon.
you can look back and say there's been times in our lives, certainly where the stock market was ripping along and then it started to slowly turn this direction, and it did. And we saw certainly with real estate, I think this is why it's so important. So many people are still reflecting back on 2007, 8, 9, 10. And the thing that I want to say to everybody watching right now is we look at the data, we learned our lesson. 2007, 8, 9, 10 were so bad for so many people that when you look at, for example, cash out refis right now, today, compared to what was happening in 2004. In 2004, people were using their home like a credit card. And they were basically tapping their credit card, their line of credit, and then they got in trouble. Where today you look and say 38.2% of every home in the US has zero mortgage.
And lots have at least $200,000 worth of equity. So you're not going to walk away from that.
That's the national average right now. So
Yeah.
even if we go back and we get really detailed to talk about forbearance during COVID, what happened, when you take the estimated 9 million properties that everyone assumed would go into forbearance, that number actually came out more in the 7 million range. Now, that's 7 million people in our country that were concerned about making their payments. So we have to honor that. Then, and you've seen this in our show This Week in Housing, we break it all the way down to the actual number of people that we would deem are in trouble, right? And that number is about 216,000. That's
smaller.
216,000 out of the expected 9 million. Some people expected as high as 18 million, but the expected 9 was sort of the rational number. 7 million actual. Only 200,000 people are actually in a situation where foreclosure becomes something that is most likely going to happen. So when I look at that,
even in a market like this, you put 200,000 houses on the market, that's not going to change too much of anything because inventory is so low.
No, and again, wouldn't it be nice if it was actually 200,000 homes in a place like greater Arizona
where we need it.
where everybody wants to
Although
move.
not in that situation,
Right.
but yes.
But so again, on one hand, like my heart goes out to the 200,000 people that are in a situation that it is tragic.
Yeah.
Right. For context, though, in the U.S. over the last 4 decades, we've averaged 200,000 foreclosures a quarter. We've averaged that for, like, I'm not talking about the bad times of 79, 10.
Yeah.
I'm talking forever, the last 40 years. So it's unfortunate, it's a challenge, but all those signs speak towards the real estate economy is thriving, right? When you look at also take COVID and the migration pattern that's happened, work from home, a lot of companies are saying, we're going to stay in this environment for a lot longer.
Right.
So people are moving from California to Phoenix and saying, I'd rather live there. It's a quality of life. They're moving from Calgary and to like you know the demand of your state.
People coming here. Yeah.
And that's just been exacerbated by what's happened with work from home.
Yeah. So prices continue to go up, inventory continues to be low, interest rates are low, and the housing market is probably going to be like this for the next several months at least. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make a statement that I shared earlier with all these incredible top agents, you being one of them right in the front row. Thank you. And seriously, congratulations on all that you've done. Because I know you're doing this show and you're being an educator, you're trying to make a difference with as many people as you can. And most people don't know what it really takes to sell houses. And you do it in a world-class way. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So the other thing that everybody needs to pay attention to is, right now, I mentioned earlier that builders are saying, we're going to build these houses, but we're not going to sell them. We're going to keep them as rentals.
Right.
Then you look at the number of institutions that are buying houses every single day at not just premium prices. You're seeing in your market where they're overbidding, right, by 10,000, 15,000, 30,000, 40,000, and they're buying these houses to rent them out. So this is what I say. If the biggest hedge funds on the planet are buying as many single-family residences across the U.S. that they can at today's peak prices, do you think they're buying those with the expectation that they go down in value in the next year?
No.
Down in value in the next 2 years?
No.
Or are they thinking, we're going to buy this asset because they're looking at the builders that stop building. It's just a basic supply and demand issue. They're getting incredibly low interest rates and they have incredible rents. And they're going to say, hey, we're going to hold on to these properties for 5 years or 7 years or 10 years, and then we'll decide what we want to do. So the market is telling us things are healthy, right? We got problems in our country. Every problem has countries, but housing is strong.
Yeah, good. All right, thank you.
You got it.
Tom Ferry.
The Connie Colla Group at Launch Real Estate, opening doors to Arizona.